Hey, we are now live with the Sig Space. I'm Brandon Dirden,
I'm Crystal Dickinson, Dirden.
and we're so happy to be joining you guys. So we're just gonna have a little fun this afternoon. We're gonna talk to each other, and we got a special guest. We got the one, the only Jason Dirden, who's gonna be joining us. Woo, Jason Dirden! We got to give him an extra special shout out because we're on the East Coast. He is on the West Coast, and so he's like 3 hours earlier than we are. So we've had plenty of time to get our beauty regimen in. I'm sorry it doesn't show for me; it does for my wife. But who knows what Jason's gonna look like this time of the morning? So Jason, if you're watching, go ahead and click the join, and I'm gonna see. Oh, wait a minute! I think I see you, Jason. Here we go. Here's a request. Dirden! Come on, Jason. Okay, now it says we're waiting. There we go. Do we have him?
Oh man, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Crystal, you look beautiful.
Thank you. Did you shower?
You said you showered or did I shower?
Yeah, I did. Did you?
I was told questions about my cleanliness during quarantine, but not be asked in this interview.
Oh.
Where's my
So
agent?
that's a no. That's an absolute no. All right.
I showered.
That's good.
I showered and now I'm eating Ritz crackers.
I mean, it's good. It's important. These things help us to shower.
They do. They do. Help us get out of bed and to shower and and make it from the bedroom to the bathroom to the kitchen, outdoors. You guys added to my day.
Thank you, Signature Theater. And thanks for everybody watching. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so
just remembering that the line is open for questions if you want to ask anything of one of us or all of us. So we'll try to keep those in play.
Well, and should I wanted to start. I thought it'd be cool because we all worked at the Signature Theater. I thought it might be cool to let everybody know about our first experience with the Signature, how that went. It might be fun to tell that story. So anybody wanna start?
Well, I'll tell you how it was for me, the beginning of it for me, because I think I was probably the first out of the group to be introduced with the possibility.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, yeah. So
I have a prop. I'll be right back. Keep going.
Okay,
I have
you
a
should
prop.
start. All right.
Yeah, because so at the Kennedy Center, I was invited by Kenny Leon to do to partake in the August Wilson Century Cycle. We were doing the whole cycle, stage reading of his shows in 2007 or 2008, at the Kennedy Center, and that's where I met Ruben Santiago Hudson, and we were doing piano lesson, and Ruben was playing Boy Willie. Brilliant interpretation of him. But I know his knees were hurting him at the end of every production. Love you, Ruben. But he said to me, you new to New York? I said, yeah, I just got here about 8 months ago. You ain't never auditioned for none of my plays. I said, well, Ruben, I didn't even know you were directing. I just know you as an actor. Yeah, man, we doing this whole deal at the Signature Theater. This just a love for the Negro Ensemble classics, and I'm doing this play First Beat of Summer, and you know it? I said, I've never heard of it. Okay, well, I'm gonna let you read it, and if you'd like to let me know, and maybe you can come in and audition for one of the roles. So he gave it to me. I read it that night. I came back the next day and said, Ruben, I want to do this play. He's like, oh, okay. And I said, the character has a brother in the show. I have a brother who's an actor who's 10 times better than me, and he should be in the show too. And Ruben said, well, slow down now. You're gonna end up giving him your role. I said, no, the character has a brother and he can have that role. And then Brandon actually came down to the Kennedy Center to see the show, and they met. Brandon and Ruben met, and we started like this whole time. Go ahead.
Oh, so is that where I pick up?
Yeah.
That's where you can pick it up.
So a few months after we get auditions for separate auditions to audition for First Breeze of Summer, right? And Jason and I, we don't know how things go. We're new to New York. But one thing that we do know is that we've always been a team. You know, where I go, he goes, and vice versa. And Crystal as well. So I said, man, look, for our audition, let's prepare the scene together. So I don't audition separately. You don't audition. We're going to pick a scene with the two brothers, and we're going to go in there and audition together, right? So he says, okay, cool. So we were the first of the day at Telsey was casting. I remember this. And so we go up and we do the scene, and Ruben, he's kind of hard to read at first, right? So he's like, okay, that's good. And he gave us a few adjustments. We did it, and we felt pretty good about the work. And so we left. Yeah. And I remember walking down the street, and the phone rang, and it was Ruben. he said, listen, man, we got some other people to see, but don't take no other jobs until you hear from me. I said, okay, I don't think I'm going to be getting offered any other jobs between now and the end of the but okay, I won't. So later on that,
for some reason I was there when y'all auditioned. I don't have
we were all together.
Yeah. I can confirm all this is true.
And so then so I think it was either that same day or maybe the next day we called and got this. Says, okay, this is the way I want to go. You and your brother, you know, we're gonna play the Brothers First Breeze of Summer. And so I called Ruben. I said, hey, Rube, my character has a girlfriend in the play, and my wife is this fantastic actress. Can you see her? He was like, well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We got a whole lot of people coming in for this role. And like, again, we're all so new to New York. We don't know how, you know, who's who. We don't know we're supposed to, you know, we have no idea the way ethics go in terms of auditioning. So, but we're just looking out for each other, right? And so actually the day Crystal was supposed to audition, Ruben had to fly out for another engagement. And so and Crystal wasn't available to audition that day. So what they ended up doing is postponing the audition. And then Crystal was available that day. So then Crystal, what happened?
So then I auditioned for Ruben. And I remember, I'm going to fast forward. I auditioned for Ruben. And I remember I was walking down the street with Jason and Brandon. And I was like, oh, y'all, I don't know. I don't know how well it went. Maybe I didn't get it. I'm so sorry. Sorry to disappoint y'all. I thought we'd be able to do this together. Blah, blah, blah. Kid you not, while we're walking, phone rings. Phone rings with the offer. That same day, I don't know if you guys remember this, but we found this dollar bill on the ground.
Yeah.
You can't really see, but I wrote First Breeze on the top of it.
I remember. We
found this dollar bill, and I've kept it.
Yeah. So that was our introduction, not just as a signature theater, but really to the whole New York theater community and the people who have become our family ever since. It was it was, I don't know, it was a very soft landing to a very hard place that New York can be. And from there, I remember telling Leslie Uggams, who played, you know, who was the anchor of that show, the great Leslie Uggams. I remember telling her that story. We all told her a story about how we all got involved. And Leslie's like, well, it's a good thing they don't have a grandmother who acts. I would have been out of a job. Yeah. But some of our nearest, dearest friends we made in that show, and you know, we just kind of been inseparable as a family since.
And I think what really enhanced the family feeling was, yes, Ruben put together an incredible room of great artists, but just warm people. Yeah. And then Signature was not even an extension of that. They were the same. We were all like-minded artists and individuals who cared for people, cared for humanity. And so doing that show with 13 people in the cast at the Signature Theater, and at that time there was the old space, so it was what, four dressing rooms?
Oh my God.
So we all had to share. It was cramped backstage.
Yeah, we were upstairs in the week.
You guys were upstairs.
In costume.
Yeah. But we used to do potlucks every Sunday. Remember we would do potlucks between shows?
Guitar Hero, rock band, rock band. Remember
it was.
And in that kind of situation, the Signature Theater, Jim Houghton really embraced it and encouraged it, and gave us, gave us maybe not the most accurate depiction of professional theater, for our
I
first
think he gave us
experience.
an accurate depiction of how professional theater should go.
And
How
we
it should be.
go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But we were so lucky and so blessed for that to be our first show in New York,
Yeah.
and said,
We got
okay,
to
this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, and I would like to add about the potlucks and the Guitar Hero and the rock band. It wasn't just the cast.
Yeah.
The
crew, everybody,
the crew,
box office,
the box office,
ushers.
the ushers. We all, we were all always together, and that spirit somehow managed to carry itself into the big beautiful space that they have now. I feel like it's built for that same. It's built in that same spirit that everybody is welcome. We're all there together. We're all working together.
Yeah. I see you, Keith Arthur Bolden.
What's up, Keith? Wendy.
Okay, let's take some of these questions. We had questions for each other, but we got a few questions we can answer now. So this is from Francis Jew, the great Francis Jew. Congratulations on your awards and a terrific season, my man.
And last week he took over the Instagram lunch. So
right. So Francis asks, how do you keep from being super competitive? You know, Jason reminds me of this often when we do interviews together, and I'll steal it from him. But Jason says, you know, growing up, and I remember this with our dad, who was also an actor. He taught us that the last name is more important than the first, and this is how we keep from being competitive. You know, what was good for the goose is good for the gander, and we celebrate each other's victories. And you know, we just weren't allowed to tear each other down ever, whether it was about acting or whether it was about sports or whether about, you know, anything that was competitive. We just weren't allowed in our household to go at each other, to tear each other down. We're always encouraged to build each other up and know that at the end of the day, you know, the only thing that matters is the family ties, the bond, the love that we share for each other, not the individual successes.
And speaking of which, I think your brother James is watching us live too, I think, right?
James?
What's up, James?
Probably the whole Dirden crew.
Yes, the whole Dirden.
Right.
Okay.
Is Ambry mom watching? I got a note that she's on.
Oh, no.
Family members.
Oh, no.
Hey, who I just had the pleasure of directing in the truncated run of August Wilson's Radio Golf down at Two River Theater, another theater that is near and dear to our hearts. So, hey, Amber, and we'll get back to it soon.
Okay. Can I ask my question?
Okay, yeah, Chris.
All right. I can either ask a sentimental kind of question or a fun question. Which one do you want?
Let's do fun. Let's do fun. It's too early to be sentimental.
Okay, all right.
For me.
The question is for you, Jason. Here's the question. You and Brandon have played a lot of do a lot of period pieces because, you know, August Wilson and also just a lot of your work on TV is, you know, has a lot of period characters from different time periods that are not now. So if one of Brandon's period characters and one of yours had a fight, which ones would you pick and who would win?
What character would I pick? Oh shoot! I almost went for the juggler and said Levy, but I don't want to kill nobody. So
wait a minute. Would that be? Hold on. Wait a minute. Would that be your Levy versus my Levy?
Or Levy fight?
Okay, yeah, it could be Levy versus. No, that's too violent, man. We just said the last name is more important than the first name. That's too violent, too bloody.
Well, actually, okay, that's cool because we did have period characters who fought. We did have to fight in First Breeze of Summer, actually.
That's true.
We did. You know what? I would go with Lyman. Because I think Lyman, he'll be able to sneak attack you. You won't assume it's coming with Lyman. Then he'll come around, put on his magic jacket.
Yeah, you would not see it with Jason's Lyman. You know what? That leads me to another story, right? I think Crystal just loved Jason's interpretation of Lyman in Signature's revival of Piano Lesson 2012-2013. And I remember Crystal talking to Jason about how he made some of the choices, right? And and Jason said that one of Ruben's directions to him as Lyman was to just get small and be invisible because you don't want to get kicked out of that house. You know, you came up to Yeah, you want to stay, right? So just to get small. And so sometimes once I remember that, I remember now I'm playing it back and I just remember seeing Jason in the scene huddled in the
In
corner
the
of a
corner of the
couch
back.
trying to get real small.
Or like that little space that was like where the stairs was. It was like a little bench there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just
it's a
like,
little bitch right in front of the stairs.
yeah, and you would just be like there, like, come
It was
on.
brilliant direction by Ruben.
It really was.
But he
Yeah.
was so unassuming, and Jason was so charming in that thing that, you know, he was a real dynamite. He was a real knockout.
So talking about August Wilson, a lot of people are asking about like what's a memorable part of doing August Wilson, or what makes you guys keep coming back to August Wilson. So maybe I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Your mug.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, me?
Either both of you.
Well, I think it's the same thing. I mean, you hear these names in tandem, but it's the same thing as why people keep going back to Shakespeare. And it's because he's given us a breadth of work. But within that body, that massive body of work that August has given us, he's given us characters and situations and times that span all of humanity. And he is one of very few writers that I know that I have to bring my entire self to the project, and I also have to learn more about myself in order to be successful and or even begin to be successful when approaching an August Wilson play. He just asks for your best and asks for everything that you got, and then he's going to teach you more. And it's just exciting knowing that if I get an opportunity to work on an August Wilson play, I'm going to come out better on the other end, a better human and better artist. And hopefully along the way, we would have created something to add value to other people's lives. And I think hands down, I don't know, I lost count about the number of productions I've done as an actor or director at August Wilson plays, but every single one, hands down, I would say offers, whoever is witnessing this thing, offers them immense value and changes their DNA ever so slightly, or sometimes, you know, in a large way, it changes who you are when you work on a play or when you watch a play.
And the fantastic actress Brittany Belazier just commented to say, yes, August Wilson will do that. And we agree. Hey, baby.
And I think Tiff just said August Wilson should be studied in schools like they study Shakespeare. Absolutely. Absolutely. You said something about, Brandon, what was the last thing you said that it teaches you? What did you say? When you study August Wilson, it teaches you something? Forget it.
Well, I mean,
I have something.
Like in terms of teaching you more about who you are as a person?
Yes. Yeah. I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I have a question for the two of you.
Go ahead.
All right. So since you guys have been in theater, starting in Atlanta, professional theater, starting in Atlanta, and now in New York, I've heard many people reference you all as the Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis of this generation in theater, in New York theater. How do you feel about that comparison? Do you agree with it? Or is it something that you aspire to, based on what you know of their relationship and what we know of their relationship?
I feel real good about it. I feel real good about it. It used to be that when people would say that to us, I would be a little embarrassed by it, right? But then what I began to think about was like, oh, it's not that they're saying that we're them. That's not what they mean. What they mean is that there's a spirit of what they try to do in their work as artists and as people and as two married people who love each other and are artists in this world. Like what they tried to do and put out there in the world was valuable, and it made a difference. And when I think of it in that way, I can accept it wholeheartedly, and I'm like, yeah, that's good. If you think that we exemplify that, I'm with it. I accept. So I think it's nice. I think it's not. And I don't even try to say like, oh, I gotta hold myself up to that. I don't. I just try to do my best. And if somebody sees that as something that they can recognize in other people and in us, then I'm good.
Yeah.
You
know, I think why else do it? I mean, seriously, I'll just be honest, man. It's particularly in theater. There has to be, in order to have a sustainable career in theater or sustainable life in here. I mean, we certainly aren't doing it to retire early, to get rich and cash out. So what is it that keeps us coming back to theater? And if it's just for personal notoriety, it's unsustainable. I think what keeps me coming back against, and this ties into the August Wilson question, coming back to work on his work, is what Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis exemplified was that when you have people who are working together for common purposes, and that's the betterment of somebody outside of themselves, you know, I think that's the only thing that really is sustainable in having a life and a partner in the arts. Is we do this, and the greatest joy that Chris and I get is not from an individual performance or an award or success, but we are more happy than we are when we're coaching somebody or giving a talk or a lecture at a university, or making art that and looking out and see how it's touched somebody. And I think that was the spirit behind Ruby and Ossie Davis. And we just, you know, listened to their co-written autobiography that they wrote, which is a beautiful telling, and it shows their highs and lows, ups and downs. And just to be on this journey with another person, to say we aren't doing this just to make Crystal better, make me better, or to have a beautiful life that we only can enjoy. But we're doing this so that whoever we touch, whoever we come in contact, can see us and see how wonderful the arts is, you know, and how powerful storytelling and how noble a profession theater or filmmaking or whatever it is, because it adds so much value to humanity and it addresses those causes and deficiencies in humanity today. And if I can be in that same conversation or that same breath, then, you know, we've done something mighty in life, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And
I think the comparison fits.
You do?
I think the comparison fits.
Thank you.
You know, I do.
I was thinking about the three of us and how when we first came here and stuff, like I think part of it is also just, it goes along with what we're talking about, in that we stuck together, not for our individual selves, but for you know, we all wanted each other's success, and we all tried to find ways to keep doing that for each other all the time, and we still do. Which I think, I don't know, I think it's made everything all the better.
Yeah. Should we take another question?
Yeah.
All right.
You
you know what? So Michael Benjamin Washington, incredible actor Michael Benjamin Washington, Fires in the Mirrors, that was last seen at Signature Theater last season.
Congratulations to you for your nomination.
Yes, my brother. He says, which famous or unknown couple from the past would you commission a play about? I guess Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't see any couple in our sphere that's more worthy. And some maybe as worthy, none more worthy than Ossie and Ruby. I mean, and we don't even know the untold stories of how many artists they championed. You know,
Right.
With their homes, with their finances, with their clout, with their, you know.
Back to the Signature. Remember when she came to First Breeze of Summer?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. When Miss Ruby Dee came.
Oh man, that was just,
what an honor. What a pleasure.
Something. Running after her.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So many beautiful people. You know, and I think that's the Signature has the power to do that. And even in the new space, what was carried over so beautifully from the old space to the new space Jim Howard made sure was this familiar atmosphere, was this atmosphere saying this is a family. And once you do one show there, you're part of that family. You know, and even if once you see a show there, you know, you're part of that family. I think, and here's Chase. Come here, son.
All by myself. You did it for my balloon set.
Oh, that's great.
Chase is now making a tea party for a balloon fest, and he's got his tea set, and he wants to know that he set that up. He's quite the artist himself.
And I put marshmallows for it.
Can you just say hello to the people, Chase?
Yeah, they did. They saw you at first and said it. They were so
people
excited.
were so excited.
And Coleman.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh, Chase, sorry.
It's not that kind of party, Chase.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Hi, Coleman.
What's up, Coleman?
Signed in, and
I bet you signature alum from the Out the Food Guard plays.
And the last time he saw this, he was a baby.
Yeah.
Jada.
Yeah. Jay, so I got a question for you, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
This is so. What what is your favorite Crystal Dickinson Dirden performance?
My favorite one is Louise and 7 Guitars, I believe.
My favorite.
I just think that
I loved bothering you. I really did.
So Jason, Crystal played Louise and 7 Guitars, and Jason played Canewell in the production of 7 Guitars that I actually directed down at Two River Theater.
I just think Crystal, I think your work, and I don't want this just to turn into a love fest.
Why?
But inevitably, it will be, because I love you guys, and as people and as artists. I just think Crystal's work is always so fearless and bold. You know, I think she always approaches the work like she's never been told, don't do that. Which is so fun to watch. Because she's not afraid to go completely left. But she always finds that brilliance that no one else would ever think of.
That's true.
And so in 7 Guitars, when she was creating this character, Louise, something seemed very familiar about it. And it wasn't just that it was my sister-in-law playing it. And then she said, well, you know, I was kind of inspired by my neighbor down the street. I said, yes, that is it. But it was just, I mean, we had a blast working together, just a blast working together.
You know, I want to say something about, speaking to that, Jason, about Crystal and her fearlessness, and like nobody ever told her she wasn't supposed to do something. The very first time I laid eyes on Crystal, and this is with Keith Arthur Bolden, if he's still in the room. Crystal and I went to school together, grad school together at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.
Where
Shout
Jason
out to the Fighting
went as
Alumni.
well.
And so Keith, man, Keith Arthur Bolden. First day after orientation, he grabs me. He's the only other black man in the department. He grabbed me and said, hey, bro, I'm going to show you the ropes here. First place we got to stop is financial aid. I'm going to show you let me show you how to work the system. And man, if there's anybody who can show you how to navigate the toughest terrain, it is Keith Arthur Bolden. So we go to the financial aid department where he has a hookup there, so we can start getting the loans going through for living expenses, yada yada. And he says Crystal is gonna meet us here. Crystal and Keith were classmates together. So I remember Crystal calling and saying she's on the way. She's outside, and I look out this window because they had like these pane glass windows, and I look. And leading up to, there's a sidewalk that's leading up to the glass door to open it, and there's a line. Again, it's the first day of school, so a lot of people are coming to this building. There's a line of people trying to come in, and then I look off to the right of the sidewalk on the grass. There's this woman in a skirt and these fry motorcycle boots stomping the grass next to the sidewalk, going past people, you know, with these long flowing dreadlocks. I was like, who? What? He's like, oh, there she is. And that's my first image of Crystal. Just come like a hurricane force coming straight at you. People on the sidewalk, get out of my way. I got somewhere to go. And I think that is the style of Crystal's, you know, the way she attacks the art. It's like, I'm not going to be polite. I'm not going to be nice. I'm not going to be mean or rude, but it's just like, I'm not going to wait in line. It's my turn. I have to go somewhere, and I have to take you somewhere. So it's just, I think you're spot on about that.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Now, we're not going
to
get you in trouble.
No, there's no need to do that. There's no need to do that at all.
Okay, now what about a favorite role for Jason? What are one of your favorite roles?
I know we already talked about Lyman.
Yeah.
I know we already talked about Lyman, but I so love that, and I love your character now on American Soul.
Oh, thank you.
It's so you play bad guys so well, Jason. I don't know how.
Because I'm bad.
It's definitely this shadow side. It's like you have full access to it.
Mm-hmm.
But you are. I think you have a way of being like naughty. Like both of those characters, Lyman and what's his name on American Soul?
Gerald.
They both have a like there's something like going on that you don't know about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's some they have some kind of there's secrets under there that you don't know about, and it just fuels your performance and makes you just people want to watch you and say, what is he going to come up with next? What is he doing over there? Like I always start with Lyman, like, how did Lyman end up in this chair, and now what? How did he get from this side of the room to that side and nobody saw him? How did he do that? You know?
Yeah.
But you're always thinking in that way, and I love that about watching you, and that how you can transform yourself in that way.
Man.
Thank you. Going back to the secret, I just have to give a shout out to Willie D, the dad. He always said every character has a secret.
He said
that doesn't mean a secret. That every character that you play has a secret. That doesn't mean that the secret is revealed in the process of the story, but you have to have a secret that you have to protect. And so everything you do is connected to that secret. That's a note that he gave us, in high school, that I try to remember. Just kind of gives your character depth and intention,
Hey, Jason, your sound got different all of a sudden. Did you do something different with the mic?
No. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but it just changed
like
a bit.
Muffled a bit.
Yeah.
What about now?
I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know if the cord came out, if you're using an external mic or something.
No, I'm not. I changed the position of the phone because the sun was coming across my face.
Are you trying to, you're trying to get your good side? Is that what you're trying to do?
I was trying to get A side. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just heads up. It is 12:30. But we're gonna keep the party rolling if that's okay with everybody watching. Is that all right?
My sister asked a question too, by the
way. Okay. Yeah. So Tanya Dickinson. She's asked the question, says, hey guys, if you were given the opportunity to pick one of August Wilson's plays to be produced as a movie, which one would you pick and why? Well, I don't think we have a choice. All 10 are getting made.
Yeah.
Thank God. Yeah. Which one would I most like to see get made?
Oh, I know. I would like to see Joe Turner because of all the magic in it, like how they would do the Juba and stuff. Like I would like to see that.
Yeah.
I bet that could be like.
I think for the same Gem of the Ocean.
Gem of the Ocean because of Valley.
Gem of the Ocean would be.
I don't know.
Would be incredible. Cinematically, it would be incredible.
Yeah. So dope. So dope.
Yeah, Gem of the Ocean would probably be. I mean, but I'd be happy to see any of them on film, just because I know when they're made on film, then more people who can, more people, we can share it with more people. And I think that's what excites me about the trajectory August Wilson's going on now, is that when I started with August Wilson 30 years ago, I felt like I was part of this niche club and I wanted the world to know about, but unless you went to the theater, you really didn't know about it. And now 30 years later, then August Wilson is finally becoming a household name, which he should have been 30 years ago. And I'm just so excited about this progression. And it's a new awareness and awakening of the brilliance of August.
Your godson had a question for you. We did not. I don't know what he's going to say. So just.
Oh shucks.
What is the question?
All right, I'm ready.
Well, if you could, like any play you have done, which one would you put me in? All plays you have done.
Out of all the plays that I've done, which one would I put you in? I think right now I would put you in Raisin in the Sun to play young Travis. And then as you got older, because you're such a musician, I would put you in Seven Guitars. And you can play any character in Seven Guitars because I know you know how to play the harmonica. You're learning the guitar, and I'm pretty sure you can play the drums, and you can dance, and you a ladies' man. So I'm putting you in Seven Guitars as an adult.
Okay.
Awesome.
And I'm going to direct you.
Who's going to direct it?
Your dad.
You let me direct it? Yeah. I don't know. Well, I got to start, but you let me direct you some plays around the house because you don't let me do that.
He don't. He is always a director.
But are they good? Are they good?
What? The plays? Yes, the plays are good when you direct them. Yes. The plays are good when you direct them. Yes.
Penny Pops.
All right.
Okay, remember that one.
Cool. What else we got?
Oh, I said to ask you what roles did you like? Have you like from Jason and I? That's what I.
Oh, I want to know what's like
Yeah.
my favorite roles that you guys have done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just gonna take 7 guitars off the table. You guys were perfect in that, and that's been, you know, that's been said. I think my favorite role that I've seen of Jason's, man, it's tough. I don't know, maybe Dash from Skeleton Crew.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Was there skeleton?
Dominique broke that play.
Yeah,
Aw.
no, I just thought that Jason, I mean, just brought such a, I don't know, man, just a real center to that play. I don't know, man. I can't really. I'm lost for words about what he did in that role. I wasn't expecting him to do that with that role. I just saw a side of Jason that I hadn't seen before, which was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that
Shout out Dominique. Thank you, Dominique, for the role.
yeah, I hope one day you get to do it on Broadway. The world should see it, or the film version of that. I think that would be incredible. For Crystal, my favorite role I've seen her do. You know what? This is a tough one. This is a really tough one, but one that I cannot imagine how she did. Maybe it's my favorite role because I know the level of difficulty, and it was Funny House of Negro, Adrian Kenny's Funny House of a Negro at the Signature Theater. I just still don't understand how my wife's mind works. That she was able to get us out of that place. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? He is. I mean, the way Crystal was able to go on that journey night in and night out, and take care of the audience, it was nothing short of amazing.
Well, I need to get on Instagram Live more often if I'm gonna get all this. I should just get on here and let people just be like, I love you. This is nice. People should try it. I mean, it's good. Somebody asked, if we're working on something right now. If we're all working on something right now together.
You know, staying alive.
Yeah, we're working on a screenplay that Jason's writing.
Yeah, we are. We're working on something. We're working on Jason has written a movie and we're working on it.
Which is fun, which has been really great process. But James has a question. Our brother James has a question. He said, is there who would you like to be in a play with that you haven't already been with? Any actor, famous or not famous, you know, just somebody you would like to work with that you haven't already.
James, I like to work with my brother James. I mean, he doesn't profess to be a stage actor, but I'm sure James could hold his own. I mean, he's probably the funniest of us all. And probably
not probably. He is the funniest of us all.
And he also has the most sense of us all too. You know, I think he would be good. But of the actors, you know, I would love for us to do a play with someone who kind of started all of this for us in New York, and that's Ruben Santiago Hudson.
Yeah, that'd be good. I agree.
Yeah.
But Daddy,
yes.
You're the craziest.
I am the craziest.
Your brothers. You're the craziest.
Hey, Bridget. Maria.
Let's see. Okay, wait a minute. What? Oh, are there any plays that we passed on? Keith asked if there are any plays that we passed on that we wish we had done. That which we had done. No.
You know what? I would like to tell a story about a role that I passed on an audition for. Because I felt like I just think as artists, it's a balance between eating, paying rent, and accepting jobs that question your integrity, that really put your integrity on trial. And there was and I want to say, as an artist, always go for your integrity. You figure out how to pay the rent. You figure out how to eat. That's what we do. We're survivors. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But there was a job opportunity that I had an audition for, and I read the character and I said, I don't want to present this to the world. You know, it was a father who was a degenerate gambler. He had a family. and he would like sell the couch and sell the VCR, and then his 13-year-old daughter would come and save the day. And it was, you know, black family. And at the time and there were some other elements to it. And it was like, this is not a good representation of black men. And it was a sitcom. and I said, told my reps, I said, I don't want to go in for this. I really don't want to go in for this. And I was told by someone who was no longer on the team, said, well, you really don't have the resume to be turning auditions down. And I said, well, when it comes to my integrity, I don't care what resume I have the choice and the option to turn it down. I don't want to look back on my career and say, I shouldn't have done that, or I'm embarrassed by that, or I cringe when someone says, that's my favorite show. And so I turned the audition down. 3 weeks later, I got a call to do Greenleaf. You know, and it would have conflicted with the role the audition that I turned down. And so the universe just told me, yeah, you made the right decision. Always go with your integrity. Always go with your original intention for being an artist.
Yeah. And what would the world have done without basis skanks?
Without basic.
You know what? And that reminds me of something the dad always said too. He says, you know, as an actor, your number one asset is your availability.
Absolutely.
So be very careful about what you are committing yourself to. You can't be two places at one time. So, you know, and then also in tandem with that is you want to be a man of or person of your word. You want to honor your commitment. Right. So if you're stuck saying yes to this commitment because you needed the money or whatever, and then you're blocking your blessings for something that is better suited to you because, you know, you said yes to some shenanigans, which you knew in your heart wasn't right.
Wasn't right.
Gonna preach. Nicole, hi Nicole. Nicole Watson is on.
Hey
Nicole. She was the assistant on First Breeze of Summer, so she was there.
Sure was.
That's right.
Sure was.
She wanted to know if we had time to talk about the 52nd Street project.
Yeah, we do. And some of the shows we've done there. With Chase's eyes just lit up because it's his favorite theater in New York theater too. So 52nd Street Project is a great organization. Check them out. 52project.org is their website. But they teach kids in the Hell's Kitchen area of New York all the aspects of theater making, and they're wonderful. You know, I mean, some of our projects, we got to work together. Chris and I, we've done a couple of plays together, or worked together a couple of times at the 52nd Street Project. And that's another one of those family-oriented places where everybody's welcome.
Yeah, they teach kids how to write plays, and now they've expanded that. They have homework help. They have after-school programs. They teach about choreography, stage combat.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Songwriting. And we're just glad to be a part of it. And an offshoot of it is the Off the Hook project that was in Red Hook, Brooklyn. Yeah. That Reggie Flowers, who used to work at 52nd Street Project, took on. And Jason and I did one of those together, which we still call Brooklyn. Just the other day, we were like, come on, guys.
So after you guys have donated to the Signature Theater to keep their programming alive, then you can go to 52nd Street Project and donate to them as well.
Yeah. Or you can watch their gala, which is has been going on for the last week or so. And they have some cool things to watch there.
They said we got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap it
up. Wrap it up.
I'm sorry we weren't able to answer everybody's questions. I'm so sorry. Maybe we should do this again. I don't know. Maybe Jason, you can take it over on your IG Live at some point.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Keep the party rolling.
Yeah, keep the party rolling.
But before we end, I do want to mention a couple of things that's happening right here on the Sig Space. So next week, we will be joined by Michael Urie, the incomparable Michael Urie, one of my favorite stage actors. So tune in. I guess it's next week, same time.
Yes.
At this space. What else do we got to do?
Thank you for taking the time, everybody.
Yeah, thank you guys for taking the time.
Join us. It was good. It was good for us. We hope it was good for you.
And here's breaking news. Okay, maybe I wish I had like a ticker to run across the bottom. But this is breaking news just in, people. So next week, I've already announced Michael Urie will be the guest. I mean, will be the host. His guest will be Michael Benjamin Washington of Fires in the Mirror at the Signature. And he was also recently on Broadway. Michael is just an outstanding individual and actor, tremendous talent. And so please join us next week as they make their ways into your hearts and homes as well. We're so appreciative of you tuning in, and we hope that this last 45 minutes have just done something for your soul, for your spirits, that you continue just to keep the faith, believe in the power of art, the transformational power of us telling stories, of us connecting. We want everybody to stay safe, and continue to support. If the Signature is not your local theater, if you're wherever you're watching from, continue to support live theater.
And whatever way you can. Whatever way you can.
In whatever way you can. Absolutely.
It all matters. It all matters. You all matter. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Be safe.
All right. Hope to see you on the stage very soon. Yeah. Hey, and you know what? Here's what I want you to do. Last request. So put in a play that you want to see all of us three in, and maybe even Chase, or maybe one father. Put in a play to the Signature Theater, and so they can start keeping a list of shows to consider for us to do on one of their stages. So you all can come to New York once we're behind on the other side of COVID-19, and we can all be on stage together and we can celebrate. Yeah. So put in your ideas right now, and we'll see what we can make happen.
That's a great idea. Great idea.
One love.
Love y'all.
Love you too, Jason.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Chase.